Either side, there's no salvation. But now, my friend, we finally get another try. In the end, please don't let this chance go by. Seize the moment, 'cause when it's gone, then it's gone. Seize the moment, 'cause when it's gone, then it's gone. If you don't want the same old players to play the same old song, seize the moment, 'cause when it's gone, then it's gone.
Upon assembling a team, what I came to realize was that there are no independents out there that are campaign managers. There are no media consultants that are independents. It's a term that if one doesn't feel Democrat or one doesn't feel Republican, they're an independent. Morning. A little cold. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Alrighty, this is our first organizational meeting for the campaign 2010 Cuyahoga County Executive. As you know, we've all spoken individually, and you've signed up for a long campaign. Traditionally, not this long, but we're going to take a different approach. Again, kind of our theme is if you do what you've always done, you're going to get what you always got. Therefore, we're going to run a campaign differently than everybody else. No independent has ever won. We've been told that no independent can ever win. And so we're going to change that for 2010 for Cuyahoga County Executive. So I thank you all for coming, and I'd like to go around the room. I know some of you know each other, and introduce everybody so that we could start our work and become successful in November. So without further ado, let me go around the table here and introduce everybody. As I started to look for people to fill the needs of the traditional campaign, I realized quickly there are no campaign managers under independent. I didn't want to get labeled with a Republican, Democrat, because I'm an independent. By not having a choice to hire an independent campaign manager, I decided that I would have my son, Wally, volunteer. Wally's going to be the volunteer campaign manager and wear the independent hat of volunteer campaign manager. So, welcome.
Morning, everybody. Morning, Wally.
And we would collectively drive the campaign in the direction we feel that we need to in order for people to get to know me, because that's really the mission here. Whatever the business is that you're doing, if it's not what you know, you have to get yourself an expert. And so I chose Jim Tracus as my governmental expert. Jim's that guy. Jim is more versed in county, state, and federal government than anybody that I've met. And so I'm really excited to have him on board and working with us.
Well, I'm from Independence. I've lived there my whole life, so I'm pretty used to the south suburbs. I represented the southern and eastern part of the county in the state legislature for 4 terms. I was a city councilman in Independence. I was chairman of our Republican Party in the county for 9 years, and also have worked in hundreds of campaigns. So I'm hoping to get a grassroots perspective. My approach always was to talk to the people and take a message directly to the people. It's my hope that I can provide, about 20 years worth of expertise in public-private sector partnerships, innovative campaign ideas to Ken, who's already a very innovative person, and ultimately the ability to communicate a message to people who are in great need. This is a community that's in great need these days, and I think we really need the leadership of a guy like Ken Lanci, and I'm really excited about working for him.
Jim's a Republican, it's well known, but it's good to have diverse opinions. On the flip side, I have Wendell Robinson, who I've brought on board. He has worked for Democratic candidates in the past, and so Wendell is our strategic planner.
I hate cameras. One of the things that I've learned over the years in politics is that the candidate has to be himself first and foremost. It's our job to make sure that we protect him from making an error that would hurt him publicly. And so, I'm sighing because I'm concerned. It's a lot easier dealing with somebody who's vanilla than somebody who's Rocky Road or So I sigh because it's a concern, and we have to be aware of that. So.
Wendell will be on the ground, so to speak, prior to events, as well as help us on the strategic planning of our direction.
I don't know how it's going to play with the other parties in the community. I think if there was ever an opportunity locally for an independent to be successful, now is the time. So how this will play with the Democratic Party that's in tatters and a Republican Party that has absolutely no legitimacy in this town, I think he's got a great opportunity.
I had the great opportunity to be able to hire Joe Wagner. Next, we have the Minister of Propaganda, Joe Wagner, who is going to be our press secretary. Joe Wagner worked for the Plain Dealer for 20 plus years. Joe is a great public relations press secretary who is well known throughout the community.
Ken's a rookie. If another candidate's going to throw a pitch at his head, he's not going to charge the mount, and my guess is he'll have me send a thank you note. Well, that won't be my recommendation.
Joe knows a lot about city politics and government as well. So Joe's choice brings in a little bit of edgy kind of opinion, and so I like the diverse opinions so that we can, make the decision on the basis of having heard one side and the other.
It doesn't bother me that he's a rookie because all the other candidates that have been mentioned to run are rookies. We'll just see who's Rookie of the Year. That's going to be the county executive. The fact that Ken is getting this kind of advice early on, I think that's giving him an edge over the others. But he's still a rookie.
Gwen Dillingham, formerly employed at the County Board of Elections for 17 years. Gwen is going to be our campaign administrator. She is going to keep us, our filings legal and in compliance. She has a wealth of knowledge also about the county, and so we welcome Gwen. A lot of rules, a lot of regulations, so not having done this before, the last thing I want to do is to err on the side of compliance. So I try to surround myself with the best people, and I would think after 17 years there, she is the best person. I've interviewed for our internet work Jennifer Fermel.
Hold on a second.
Jennifer is our online strategist and is in charge of everything online. And so, as you all know, we have to be involved in all the social medias. And she is our expert and will keep my face up on something called Facebook.
Something that a lot of people don't know about me is that I was a musical theater major in college, which then directly qualifies me for a marketing professional, which I have become.
Next, we have Josh Perkins McCann. Josh is going to be in charge of community outreach and also parts of our education program. He was formerly with the governor's program of closing the achievement gap statewide. And so we're excited to have you on in that capacity, as well as to be able to help us with our education outreach. So thank you, Josh, for coming.
Particularly in the African American community, statistically, and I'm talking about stereotypes, but not absolute, African Americans tend to vote, their views and ideology tend to align with Democratic candidates. And there's this perception out there that Ken is a Republican. It's going to be my job to help disseminate that information that no, he is in fact an independent candidate.
Last but not least is Vicki Zach. Vicki is my personal administrative assistant and also the deputy treasurer for the campaign.
Well, being a bookkeeper for many of Ken's, companies, I'm going to be the deputy treasurer, the money watcher, because that's what I'm really good at, is watching his money. So
Vicki's been with me for over 20 plus years, so she knows how to get me 24/7. She also knows when I'm in a good mood and a bad mood, so you can always check with her.
I should be the person that talks to a lot of the campaign people about Ken and about how I can't tell what he'd feel about certain things, but I can tell what he's done in the past and his personality. So
now, having gone through this process,